Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, April 5th. Skipped yesterday. I didn't play D&D with my buddies. Bob had been out of town over the weekend, and he was still coming back into town. Fine. But my buddies did come over because Nick wanted to talk to those of us that were around about Iron Kingdoms Requiem. 5th edition rules, Iron Kingdoms, and try and get some ideas of if he chooses to run a campaign, what kind of campaign or game we might want him to run. Which Nick has a history of not sticking with a game. So I try and encourage him in that way. As far as, feel free to just think of something. If it's going to be a short-run game, short-lived game or something, we'll have fun with it and move on. Don't feel like you have to commit yourself to a 2-year campaign like Bob is doing, or at times I've done in the past. It's like... so we'll see if he decides to do that or not. I think he just wants to kind of get ideas for what kind of game he'd run, as he also got the rule books from Kickstarter. He backed it as well. And I think he's ready to start reading through the book. And I think he just wants to know what to be thinking about while reading through. So, we'll see. I did also get this mostly painted. Some of the end grain is still showing through, so I'll give it a second coat in the areas that need it. But working towards getting things pulled together for that camera. Get it up on the ceiling. That'll be cool. Now, as far as today, Tuesday, movie day. And I was thinking really over the weekend. I sat here at one point and I looked at the shelf and I'm like, okay, I'm at a decent pausing point in James Bond because I'm between actors. That's a fair idea. In fact, an interesting point, because the next movie will be one that I have never seen, and that I know that I've never seen, because I deliberately didn't see it because I was upset with it when I saw the trailers. I was like, that's not James Bond. I don't like that. I may have changed my mind since, but I haven't seen it, so we'll have to find out at some point. But it's a good pausing point, and thus far, I've not jumped into Harry Potter. Because I'm in the middle of that series. Do I want to start another series? And I have decided, yes, I do. That's what I want to watch. For one, whatever, give it 2, maybe 4 months if I only watch them every other week. And all these will be pulled forward. And that's a big chunk of this shelf that'll make it feel like I'm a lot closer to having the shelf done. So that'll be cool. But also, I like the movies, and it just sounds fun to watch. So, I was like, you know what? Let's get started. Harry Potter. And the Sorcerer's Stone. Because I'm an American, and I have no idea what a Philosopher's Stone is, of course. What Neanderthals the Americans are. We need to change the name of that book and movie. Oh well. So yeah, it'll be fun. Let's talk a little on the history of it while I'm at it, right? Because I did not see that movie until the second one. But I had both of the first two on DVD that my grandmother had gotten through, I don't know, some sort of movie service or something. And so she's like, I don't want these. She didn't mean to get them. She got them by mistake. So she's like, let's give these to Adam. And I'm like, Harry Potter? That looks idiotic. How could I possibly enjoy that? It's fantasy, but they have, cars and stuff, so it's modern? That doesn't make any sense at all. I can't get behind that. Ha ha ha. And it's, let's see. The third one here. What the year is that? On 2004. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I'm working at a movie theater, and there's this real cute girl that she likes Harry Potter, so she'll talk about that stuff. So I give it a shot. And, well, now I have 3 shelves of my decorations that are... Sorry, 4 shelves of my decorations that are dedicated to Harry Potter. The next highest shelf is Doctor Who with 2 shelves. Other things maybe get 1 or split one with another thing, because I really like Harry Potter. But yeah, when the first couple came out, I was like, that looks stupid. And also, I completely got into it through the movies. I did not get into the books until... Well, let's put it this way. I forget which movie it was. No, I don't. It was Order of the Phoenix. So it was right around the time that came out that I was actually going through the books. Enough so, and it was right as the last book came out. So I started listening to the audiobooks of them, and the last book came out while I was still going through them. So I was able to just go through all of them together, because the last one was out by the time I'd finished the 6th, so. But yeah, definitely started with the movies, and it took a bit to get into it, because I wasn't so sure, but yeah, let's watch Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone certainly isn't my favorite of the Harry Potter films. That'd have to be a little later. The music's great. The way they construct the story, even really good. Even though they cut things out that my brain says that leaves a plot hole, it doesn't always leave a plot hole with everything that's cut out. It's just compared to the books. But particularly the first couple, the Chris Columbus films, I don't like the visual style. It's not until Azkaban that I really start loving the way the movies look. But still, this movie is what got me started and hooked and drawn into the world, let me know what it's about, and develop the love for the series that I ended up with. So, gotta give it some credit on that. I will give Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone a 7.7 out of 10. Now, back of box description, special features, never before seen footage, self-guided tour. No, that doesn't have a description about the movie. What about this one? Uncover the intimate details of the search for the cast of it. Chris Columbus' critical step-by-step decisions. No. Inside of here, completely blank. Gee, none of them try and describe the movie because they just kind of assume it's Harry Potter, you know. So, from the general Harry Potter film page on Wikipedia, synopsis. Harry Potter is an orphaned boy brought up by his unkind muggle, non-magical, aunt and uncle. At the age of 11, half-giant Rubeus Hagrid informs him that he is actually a wizard, and that his parents were murdered by an evil wizard named Lord Voldemort. Voldemort also attempted to kill 1-year-old Harry on the same night, but his killing curse mysteriously rebounded and reduced him to a weak and helpless form. Harry became extremely famous in the wizarding world as a result. Harry begins his first year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and learns about magic. During the year, Harry and his friends, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, become entangled in the mystery of the Philosopher's Stone, which is being kept within the school. Yeah, I do. You start to feel the magic in this one. They managed to make it where you feel the magic of the wizarding world. They certainly take their time getting into some things, too. And yet, at the same time, they begin at night on Privet Drive, and I can't help but think, but what about Mr. Dursley in his office? Being perfectly normal, thank you very much. And just ignoring all the hubbub going on behind him, and just little images that my brain has from the books that aren't in the movie. And for the longest time, I hated those people that are like, but the book's better. I mean, yeah, it is. It is. It also takes a lot longer. I'd be maybe 2 chapters in at this point. As here, I finished it. So, you know, you get what you give. But as far as an abbreviated version of the story, it does pretty good. And as far as a visual version of the story, it does very good. The exteriors of the castle, I don't like. They went on location for them. And I don't like. They don't feel fantastic enough. They feel mundane. Because they are. They're at a real place, like a real kind of castle. So the interiors of the castle feel pretty good. I like a lot of those. The exterior at night in the Forbidden Forest feels like it is on a stage. Which that's bad. It does not feel like it's out in the wilderness. It feels like this is like more so like even just like, you know, it's obviously in a sound stage, but it feels like something that would be put together for like a theatrical stage version of a dark forest. Well, that's just the feel I get from it. So I'm not loving the visuals yet. Give it a couple movies. The music is so good. And maybe I've noticed it in the past, but at the moment when they run up to Hagrid to learn what Fluffy's weakness is, and he's sitting there playing the flute, he's playing the theme song. He's playing the movie's theme song. I think it's Hedwig's theme is officially what it's called, but I'm just like, really? Yeah. And you know what? Obviously, many of the adults are world-class British actors. The kids do pretty good. I mean, these are kids. They are not experienced actors. And they lead this movie. And of course, they do great as the series progresses, as they are literally being thrown into this environment with the best actors Britain has to offer to learn from, which is awesome. But for this point where they're still so new, and obviously it's the kind of thing where they did take after take in order to get it, but Chris Columbus got it. He got a good performance. He managed to put it together. The kids managed to deliver it. There's a couple points where maybe it feels like there's an extra beat in between lines where maybe they're having to think, what am I supposed to say next? And there's a couple times where that does happen. But it's few and far between, and in general, pretty solid. As, again, they're kids. They're not professional actors at this point. They will be. Ultimately, it's got magic. It's fun, and it's fun to be stepping into it and knowing that over the next, whatever, 8+ weeks, I will get to go through these movies, because it's been years since I've watched these movies. Quite a few years. And they're movies that I have loved quite a bit. It did have me think, oh man, it's also been a long time since I've listened to the books. At some point. I want to go through them again at some point. But for now, the movies take a lot less time. So that's what I will do. And it's fun to be getting back into it. It's a good series. It's fun. It's imaginative. And I'm going to call it a night. I'm tired. Thank you for joining me. Joining me as my journey continues. Bye.